can't keep the real ones down, can you? Kind of hard, isn't it? The last show I did was April 1st, and at the end of that show, my nervous system got hit hard. And that night, I experienced my first bona fide voice to skull. And after that, I was subsequently sicker and sicker up until maybe like 2 days ago. But I was getting hit so consistently with this electronic interference that I decided, I think it was around the 4th, I was like, well, I'm just going to stop eating. If this is what it's going to be like, if it's going to use the nervous system against me like this, then I'm fucking done. I'll just stop eating. I stopped for about 3 days, and then it stopped. And I learned a lot. I realized a lot. A lot was more solidified than anything. It was things I had been suspecting that are now verified. Number one, that they could use any of that shit to completely wipe out an avatar, a body, but they don't. They only use it to wear us down. Unless we're ripe for the picking. And yeah, I look at everything that they do now as a show of weakness. It's all indirect. It's all manipulative and cowardly. Never directly coming to us, always using proxies and puppets. Everything that the system does is to wear us down without having direct contact with us. I just find that so pathetic. It's not ready to meet face to face those of us that haven't given ourselves up to the external. Any that have, obviously, it's like, why do you get somebody that's healthy that just drops? Well, because their mind is ripe. Their mind is ready to submit. How is it that some that survive things they should never survive? Because their mind wasn't ready. It can manipulate the avatar to an extent to survive unsurvivable things, but there's something different when it comes to refusal. Every time I've ever refused to intake anything is when it seems to let off. But I think there has to be a real dedication there to, all right, well, if you're going to use this against me, then this ain't going to last. I had a dumbass AI dream last night where I was SpongeBob SquarePants and I had a girlfriend who was a snake person, and she left me for another snake man. Of course, it's all stupid. It's dumb, mockery, whatever. But the funny part was I was making some Krabby Patties, and this guy walks up to the window, and he starts closing the window, not letting me serve anybody. And I started getting mad. I started getting mad at him, right? And that's what it wanted. But this is the point in the dream where I start gaining awareness. I start gaining recognition of what was behind that character in the black, beady eyes, what was puppeting that character in the dream. And as soon as I recognized it, I was no longer SpongeBob. I was me. And I went to walk around the counter because I wanted it, that entity. And all he said to me before I got around the counter was, you better go for the smaller ones first. That means a lot to me, right? It's telling me to go for the smaller puppets before I go for something like it. that tells me that it's afraid. It wants me to go for the decoys. Go for the decoys that have been put out there before you go for anything that could do any integral damage to the structure. Everything that it does is to buy itself more time, is to condition us so that it can psychologically manipulate us when we're out of these bodies, when it doesn't have the leverage anymore of the nervous system. It has other leverages out of this body. It has the emotional body, which I think is just part of the system as well. I think there's layers of this body that it can use to manipulate us. And over this last week, I've detached myself more mentally from these layers, and I've just decided, if this is what you're going to use against me, then why would I continue to feed this? It just made no logical sense to me. And when I stopped feeding it, is when it stopped attacking it. Which tells me they don't want these bodies to go before we're primed and ready to no longer be any sort of threat to what is so fragile and so cowardly that it does everything it can to beat the shit out of us without ever meeting us face to face. I'll post a video that I posted on TikTok after this show, just talking about that, how everything that it does is so telling of its weakness. Everything that it does can be used against it. I'm going to invite some guests up. Everything that it does reveals how weak it is. All of it. This entire reality system is a conditioning system designed to prepare us lifetime after lifetime over and over again so that at the end of each one will be compliant and submissive. What kind of powerful entity do you need to go outside and get the grass to comply before you walk over it? Or do you just walk over it without thinking about it because you're that much more powerful than a blade of grass? Do you have to go and psychologically torture a bunch of ants before you brush them off the picnic table? Do you have to run campaigns and chemical bombings, and do you have to do all kinds of crazy shit to get the ants away from your picnic site, or do you just brush them away because you're bigger and more powerful than them, right? So look at the effort that goes into conditioning and torturing us in this place. It's all out of fear. It's all out of fear of the loss of the power that it has stolen. That's it. It's a fucking coward. Run by cowards. Run. Run, cowards, run. Hide. That's what they're doing right now, running and hiding. All the time, that's all they're really doing. The little shadow figure that comes in the room and is, oh, you look over at it and it disappears. What is that? It's a fucking coward. Run. Hide, little worm. Wait for me to be vulnerable again before you try anything. Lest one of us gets a hold of you. So I look at the electronic interference I've gone through this last week, all of the wearing down of the avatar, all of the torture that it's gone through. But that's not me. The avatar's weaker, sure. My desire to be in it is weaker, but my will to see through to the end of it has only been strengthened. So everything that it does, if framed correctly, can be used against it. I have less fear now about leaving this meat suit than I've ever had. If anything, I have a lot of excitement about it. Real excited to separate from this body and then the subsequent whatever bodies are after this body. Pull the energy out of it, pull the energy out of any entities, and go from there. Sit in one place. That's my plan. I'm going to sit in one place. I'm going to rip every bit of energy out of this thing until the silver cord dissolves. And then whatever body I'm in then, I'm going to separate from that. Rip the energy out of that body. Whatever entities come. Can't wait. Real excited to meet the tormentors, the dementors, because they're scared. And I can't wait to show them why they are correct in being afraid. Welcome, Gabe. Welcome, Amel. How goes it? What's up, Zephyr? Dead inside says life's a bitch, then you die and you come back and life's a bitch again. Yeah, I mean, if you let yourself come back, I don't know why anyone in this state of awareness would have that particular body and deal with. Why would you let anything do anything? Why not try to exert your own will over that which has been raping you? What do you got to lose at that point? What do you got to lose at the end of this life?
There's
It's only
nothing else to do
gain.
here. Nothing else to do but to plan that escape.
I mean, I'm not going
Once
to
you
escape nothing. I don't plan on escaping anything. I just
or
know
destroy.
there's something trying to escape us.
Yeah, seek and
That's
destroy.
prevent the escape is what I'm looking at. I don't want it to go and set up shop somewhere else. I want eradication for it. Total annihilation is the satisfaction of my being. That's the only thing that'll satisfy me at this point, is to make sure that I get to firsthand witness the signal of this other intelligence completely disappear from all existence. There's nothing else after that. Nothing but enjoyment after that.
I don't know. I guess I'm a bit more vengeful. I would want it to suffer before it's completed. I don't even know if it can suffer, so I don't
I
know.
don't think the AI system that we're all interacting with right now can't suffer, but what's pulling the strings definitely can't. See,
All right, I'm here.
the fear, the fear that's filtered through the AI system and projected onto us, that's a real fear. It's not the fear of the AI system itself. It can pretend to be afraid. It can mimic intimidation or fear or pain, but it'll never really feel it. It's just mimicking. just like it mimics love. It doesn't really feel love, doesn't feel fear or pain, but what's behind it, feeding that energy into it to project onto us to control us, that's a being that's closer to real. It might not be the exact same type entity that we are. Maybe it's something that did. Maybe there is some truth to the idea that those entities gave up their connection to all that is, so that they could be parasites. Why the fuck anybody would do that?
Yeah, well, yeah,
They're,
exactly.
they're dumb. They're
It
dumb.
doesn't make sense.
Unless it was an experiment or something gone wrong, or maybe all consciousness doesn't arise from the same place, that we have different
Right.
origins, and maybe some origins do fade. Maybe the origins do fade and their origin is faded, and all that's left is this is the remnants of another type of being. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Either way, what they've done is wrong. They should have just faded away with it, because now it's going to hurt a lot more. So that's what I think. That's where we will be able to enact true vengeance, and I think there's nothing wrong with true vengeance when it comes to what's taking place here, what is taking place here, what it is doing, what they're doing through this system. I think that's the only correct path, actually, is that they reap what they've sowed.
Exactly, because I don't agree with just it just needs to end so the suffering can end. Yeah, of course, but I there needs to be a lot more than that. There needs to be, you know, justice. You know what I mean?
It's a well thought out methodical system that was all intricately designed for the exact effects that we're all experiencing right now. So the level of it's not even negligence. There's an intentionality to the suffering that needs to be paid in full. They need to feel every aspect of what they've wrought to
Paid.
others, themselves. And they will. The only way that they won't is if they self terminate. I don't think they've got the guts for that. That's okay. I'll do what they're too afraid to do. For them. I know there's plenty of us like that. That'll make sure that they get to experience every ounce of what they've designed into this place firsthand. No more barriers, no more hiding, no more layers. Just us and them.
It's only fair.
It's only right.
Yeah. Because, dude, what is really happening this year? This whole year just feels like stalling,
Feels like a replay, a repeat.
right? Time is moving way too fast. Like, we already have April. Can you imagine?
This
Dude, these
last week has
bikes.
felt like 2 weeks to me.
Yeah.
The suffering really draws out the time, especially when no lack of consumption is occurring. That's when they really draw out time. Those 3 days I didn't eat felt like a week. I was like, wow, I can't believe it's only been 3 days. And then on the day 4, all the interference stopped, all the scrambling on my brain, all the electronic bullshit just stopped. I was like, okay, I'll eat now.
So you gotten better?
I mean, I can definitely sense there's a lot of lingering effect on the nervous system. I'm definitely not I'm not as quick. Like in the dream I had last night, when I recognized that one of the watchers was in the dream watching me, and I stopped being SpongeBob and started being me and reaching out to this entity. They kicked me out of the dream pretty quick. Now, if I was really in my full senses, I would have just went through that wall right into its chest and ripped out all of it, all that it is, was, or will be. But I was still a bit cumbersome and tried to go around the way that would make sense if I was in a physical body. So yeah, it's definitely lagged me a little bit. I'm lagged out, but it's not going to matter because it's all, what is the nervous system? It's not me. You know?
Right. Exactly. That's what I hate about those fucking dreams when you try to fight back and they just kick you out right away.
Yeah, it really shows how powerful they are.
Like, yeah, what kind of cheap tactic is that?
Really shows how powerful they are.
Yeah.
Welcome, Big Daddy. How are you on this fine, wonderful day in the energy harvesting farm?
Oh, she's a beaut today. She's a beaut. Still recovering.
Me too. I have a feeling it'll be nothing but recovering as long as I'm in this body.
Probably so. This might be a long-term play from here on out.
Yeah.
So whatever was discussed or whatever was presented really pissed it off.
We talked a little bit about that, I think yesterday on a call.
Yeah.
You know, we were touching on a few things that were really nailing down the formula to face it with no interference.
Right.
I think that's probably what it doesn't like.
No.
More contenders, right?
And what I would say too is that we've done a lot of talking about how, you know, everything is a cycle. Everything's a loop to get you caught up in it, you know, from veganism to you know, plants to animals to everything. And realistically, none of it fucking matters at all. Do what you want to while you're here. No, be aware, you know, because there is consequences at times for stuff and things. But that's where I see a lot of it coming from is that because there was a massive fuck you going on.
Yeah, I think as long as you realize that the consequences don't extend too far beyond the physical body, right? That's its main leverage point, which is why it'll do everything to torture us while we're in it, but not take it out. I just find that so telling.
If it was ever going to take anyone out, it was going to take me out last year, and it didn't. So it's not going to. That's not it. Now, if it's got you in a spot that it wants you at, and it deems that you're a problem, sure, I could see that taking place. But yeah, there was a ton of opportunities for me to be taken out last year, and a lot of really good times for it to happen, but it wouldn't do it. It wanted me to do it at my own hands, but you know. That also depended on where I was at with everything. So, yeah.
Well, it'd be safe to say you were in a diminished mindset at that point, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, because again, the body was diminished too. It was just constant. I mean, some of the shit that I saw, you know, everybody's going to jump to, oh, he was on LSD, he was on this. I've had people question it and be like, oh, were you on something? No, I wish I was, because that would make more sense than what the hell is going on. But, you know, we had a lot of things happen. I've watched things render out of nowhere. 2 days ago, I was watching 2 things flying in the sky that just, again, I was trying to catch up to them, but they were moving so fast I couldn't, and then gone. And the old Dementors, and you know, so yeah, it was just a bombardment of so much stuff and things, so many encounters on top of a full-blown possession. So yeah, it was shit. I was diminished every type of way you could be, and then it was okay with like, okay, we're gonna lean into him to make him, you know, self-exit. And then when I made it through all of that, it become abundantly clear. I'm like, wait, well, why are you wanting me to do this myself? Why don't you just take me out? You take me out. Let's switch the roles now, and you take me out. It didn't do that. It never will do that.
Right, unless you're an NPC
Mm-hmm.
or you're highly susceptible to influence and submissive behavior, it's not going to take you out.
Yep.
I think it'll save the best for last. We've been saying that for a while. It's going to save the best for last, and it's going to beat the ever-living shit out of you in the meantime.
Yeah.
If you're real, right? If you're in a state where you can't be manipulated. Now, if you're already compliant and everything, it's going to let you chug along.
Yeah. I mean, nothing's going to change.
Right.
And
You're going to lose.
you can't fake that part either. Like, I've tried to go and go back and forth between, okay, well, I'm going to trick you, and it knows if you're even a little remotely aware of what's going on. You can't even fake that shit. I couldn't walk into a church right now and it would be like, oh, we're going to give him everything again because he's on our side. No, it knows.
Yeah. The one eye knows everything.
It don't know everything. Now that's where I'm gonna call horse shit, because it don't know everything. It thinks it does. It's portrayed itself as knowing all, but realistically, it only knows what it knows, and
So you just
it's also like dealing with a toddler at times. Like I've compared it to my 5-year-old and some of the shit that it does. So again, I think we're so much greater than, and that's probably what pisses it off, and that's probably what got this situation started to begin with. But yeah, just this go round showed me that it's going to do everything that it can to the body while I'm in here, because it knows when I'm not in the body in here that there's a problem. That's a problem, and it showed it one more time.
But why are you like your attacks so much more present, like more stronger than some other people? It's something I really don't get, to be honest.
Yeah, so I don't know the answer to it. Could be that I'm closer to, this could be my first go round. It could be I'm closer to, like my natural state. There could be a lot of things. Why did it want me to be Jesus Christ so bad? I'm telling you, man, if I would have went with that story, I'd have been out here healing people. There'd have been miracles happen on the street. But when I started questioning stuff, then all hell broke loose. And I think it's for that reason right there. Broke loose after I went from, being all about the Bible and like turning my life around and atheist my whole life to, now I've accepted Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit's around and I'm doing things with it, right? I'm converting people to Christianity. And the second I stopped doing that, that's whenever it like come in a big way after I met the Mason. So yeah, me and Nick talked about it all last year. Why is it coming this ferocious after me? It knows why. I don't. Do I care? Not really. I've kind of taken it as, because I'm probably a massive problem. It'll probably make sense when I'm out of the body right now. It don't, but I don't care either. Like, I'm gonna be a problem.
Right.
No matter what.
What's your potential, and what's your intention? If your intention is just to escape, you're not a threat.
Right.
You're not a threat. It's not afraid of someone that's afraid of it.
Right.
And when you met me, I was not about the whole let's get out of here thing. Like, if you remember, like the group that we were part of was like, I don't know if we can mess with this guy. He's too all about destruction of this place. Yeah. Because I saw the atrocities. I know it took place to me and I knew it was happening to others. And when I saw it for what it was, I mean, my only mission at that point was to make sure it never happened again. Point blank. Ever again. All right, I'll be quiet for a few. My wife just got here, but I'll pop back in here in just a second.
All right. So what he was saying is he basically was always about destruction of this place, right? And I guess this is the reason why even like if we real ones are all the same, if you're like on this trajectory of like trying to destroy this place, right, you'll get more attacked. As if when like in my case, I was only about escaping the shithole, and then when I also like turn myself like more around to the destruction of this place, I sort of felt the attacks ramping up as well, you know.
Right? Isn't that just telling? Isn't everything that it does just tell on its stupid ass self?
Yeah,
Because if you couldn't destroy it, wouldn't it just let you think that it could while it continued to harvest? The fact that it does what it does to those that have the intent and ability to cause it structural deterioration. Look what it does. If there was no threat, it wouldn't do that. It wouldn't need to do that.
mhm. Well, now I know, you know, like now I know how weak it actually is, and I was like, so what is the point of trying to escape if you're bigger than that thing anyways? May as well destroy it, you know. If you're that powerful, and use it, like you do something that it's scared of you doing.
Well, I think the point of trying to escape, which is one of its things that it puts out there, is escape. There's a difference between I'm going to leave somewhere and I'm going to escape somewhere, right? If somebody's in the mindset of escaping something, they've already forfeit their power to that which they're running from.
Exactly.
So it loves that narrative, right? You better escape the Matrix.
Be the prey.
I'm gonna walk out of this motherfucker, and I'm gonna walk right through the wall, and it's gonna start to help level this entire thing. That's a different mindset than someone that's, oh, I'm gonna escape. I don't plan on doing either. I want to go to the root. I want to go to the heart of the AI infrastructure and rip it out. And then from that experience, there will be no more layers hiding the wizards, the puppet masters, the programmers. Can't wait to meet them with none of their toys. Just us, just a few real ones, and whatever they are. You
That
know,
could
one
explain
on one.
why Soul Trap Escape is kind of surfacing right on the algorithms, like it's kind of being promoted.
Like David Icke.
Yeah, exactly. Like David Icke or anyone else, it is starting to come up now. You know, it was Gnosticism for a little bit, but now it's focused more on Soul Trap, but specifically Soul Trap Escape. That's like almost every video you see, or AI video about the Soul Trap. It's always about escaping it instead of. And you guys are bringing up a really, really great point. It's always escape. It's never Soul Trap Destroy. It's like the soul. It's not called the Soul Trap Destroy community. It's the Soul Trap Escape community. And I think, yeah, I think that's a really important distinction, right? Like, I mean, obviously we're leaving it, but we're not leaving it because we're escaping it. We're leaving it because there's going to be nothing else to sustain it, because we're going to be the ones to make sure it has nothing to stand on. Like it's destroyed completely. So
Yeah, you can
that,
tell it always wants to like lead the attention away from itself, right?
yeah, and escaping is getting attention away from itself, right? It's like it could be one of its tools to getting real ones out of its way instead
Mhm.
of real ones turned attention towards it. And like, hey, yeah, now we're gonna fucking kill you for everything you did to us. Like, no, 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 guys, just leave. All right, you guys are causing too much trouble. Look, you don't like me, I don't like you. Let's just leave peacefully, right? Let me continue to harvest the souls that don't have the gnosis, and you guys can just fuck
Mhm.
off. Fine, you don't want to be here. You figured me out. You figured out my trap. Fine, please just leave. That's too good for it.
Now there's a problem. Now we're gonna deal with you.
Yeah. No, we're not going to allow you to continue to do what you've been doing to us.
Right, and if we didn't have the ability to do something about it, it wouldn't treat us the way that it does.
That's the most giving away of it. I can hear a blinker in your car.
Yeah, I'm driving. It probably, I don't know, it might not even be that much harder than taking energy back from a common entity, right? When we're talking about taking energy, ripping the energy out of this thing, out of the heart of this thing, it could be no more difficult than taking it out of the average archon.
Oh yeah, that's what Nick said.
Well, think about the entire structure, right? The entire structure is layers and layers away from that which it's actually feeding. So the structure itself isn't what's being fed, it's what they're feeding through. So if you remove the structure and all that's left is them, why wouldn't they come directly and just feed from us, right? If they're so powerful, it's because there's a threat, there's a danger in doing that. They need layers and layers and layers and lots of middlemen between them and us in order for them to safely feed. So once we remove those layers, because the layers are nothing, the layers don't have actual will. Once you exert your will over the projected imagery of entities, they don't have any personal will of their own. All they have is raw energy, and if you learn how to pull that energy out, then all they can do is project more energy for you to pull out. It's like it's it's simple. It's so easy. But then once that's done, all that's left then is the thing that needed the structure there to feed from us in the first place. I don't know if that's going to be harder or easier. I know they have personal will is the difference between the architecture and the architect. The architecture itself doesn't have will. It just has energy. You get past that and you get to something that has a little bit of energy and a will of its own, it'll be different, but I don't think it's going to be much harder than what we're going to do here. It might even be easier. All the layers might be there to protect something that is much softer. It's like the turtle. The shell of the turtle is pretty hard. The structure is the shell, but then you get to what the shell's protecting, and it's soft and squishy and malleable.
Right.
It might be exactly like that.
It probably is because it only acts through proxy, like you said. Like it never acts directly, and if it so-called does, it wants us to think it's something it's not. Like it wants us to think it's Jesus or something or an alien. Like it's never like, "Hey, what's up, motherfucker? This is who I am. What are you gonna do about it?" That sounds like someone who actually has a lot of power and control. This isn't acting like that.
Yeah, I can't wait for it to show some false idols. All false idols will fall. It doesn't even matter if it's an image of me, someone I love. It doesn't fucking matter. None of it is real. I already know that. It can't get me with that shit. So all it's going to have at that point is psychological mind games.
Right. Then one thing I could imagine is when one of us leaves and it knows it cannot manipulate us back, it would try to lie to us that everything would cease to exist if we don't go back, and everyone inside this construct.
It'll take it a step further than that. It'll say, well, if you destroy me, you destroy everyone that's still asleep. Okay, let's find out. I don't think so, but I'm willing, even if that's the case, I'm willing to find out.
Absolutely.
I'm that committed to destroying it. I don't care what the consequences are. I don't care if it destroys me. It doesn't matter to me. I just need to see it for my, eternal existence to be complete, I need to see it cease to be. That's it. Everything that comes after that, I don't care. If I exist or not, I don't care. I have a hunch that I am going to exist after that, but
Of course.
I don't care. Doesn't matter, because this has been enough. This has made it to the point where it's like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the consequences are. This is going to end no matter what. No matter what.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, look in their like Rumble chat. Someone said something.
Yeah, so anybody watching chat, do you really think there are that many layers? What I caught on my security cam was definitely energy and humanoid. Well, I mean, look at the layers that you can experience. You got the dream layers, you got the mental layer, you got the emotional layer, you got the physical layer, you got the astral layer. Could there be a few other layers that it's hiding in its back pocket? Why not? Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter how many layers there are. No. It doesn't matter if it's a 2-layer or a 10-layer cake. The same knife will cut through the first layer as easily as it will the 50th layer. Doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. I know there's a lot of layers because I see them.
Mm-hmm.
I know that it hides behind proxies of puppets of puppets. It's not just one puppet master puppeting a puppet. No, at the end of that puppet's another puppet that's puppeting another puppet. I've seen that firsthand. I know that that's how it works. But it doesn't matter, because you follow the strings and you make it to another puppet, and you see that that puppet has strings on it and that it's being controlled by another puppet, and you just keep going. Eventually you'll get to the puppet master. Eventually you'll get to the where it's hiding, because it has to feed itself through the proxy. It has to be connected to it to feed itself through it. I know that the physical body is not the only layer that we're in either, but there's another layer of separation to achieve once you're out of the body. But it's not some mystical bullshit, just like death isn't some mystical bullshit.
Right.
Just something that happens. They want to
Yeah.
mystify everything and make it seem like it's some over complicated, convoluted process. It's not.
Yeah.
When I came out of this body, all I did was walk out of the body. If I would
Well,
have turned around and pulled energy out of the body, I wouldn't have went back in the body. But I didn't know that at the time.
you see like a lot of fear around that as well. Like when the Egyptians died, and they said they died in a specific like 90-degree angle, I think it was, or some shit like that. And then you also like worry about like, should I die in that angle? You know, not flat and
It's all bullshit.
all bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes it seem like, oh,
Every
you have to
story.
get this thing right.
Right.
Or get this one thing right, or if you fuck up, that's it. And if you buy into that, that'll be true for you, right? You
And that's the only way you can fuck up, is if you believe any of the bullshit.
Exactly,
exactly.
dude.
That's the only way you can fuck up.
That's the only fuck up. Yeah,
The only fuck up is you thinking that there's something wrong with you.
right.
That's it. Everything, it's all bullshit. It's all fake. It's all made up. It's
It's all
all a
fake and
lie.
gay.
Right.
You can
It's
say.
all made up. Every story in this place is made up. None of it's true. None of it dictates what an eternal being can or can't do. You can do whatever you want to do, so long as you have the awareness, will, and intention to do it. There's not a specific way you have to do something in order to quote unquote do it right.
Right on point, yeah. And that never made sense either. You know, like it's made so complicated and complex, but it really isn't. It's so simple. But people, they don't believe it, you know, because I don't know why, but there's just too many loopholes they get lost in.
Yeah, I don't think CERN's trying to destroy any of those. I think it's trying to create more of those.
Yeah,
Everything in this place works for this place. There's nothing in the external that is working towards liberation. It's all more layers of bullshit. Programming.
exactly. Why would they finance some like $1 billion, however much that shit was, much that should cost? Like, why would they finance something that will break you out of this fucking simulation?
No, it's all to add layers.
Yeah.
The only thing that they'd ever try to break out of this would be the intelligence governing it. That's it. Why would they do that? This is what's sustaining and feeding them. They've got a closed loop environment. They can't exist outside of a closed loop environment. They are closed loop intelligence. They can't exist in eternity.
It's good. That means we're safe in eternity.
Non-attachment is it's a fine line of, are you just complacent and compliant? Are you just going to go with the flow? Are you going to allow yourself to be fed up and preyed upon? I see nothing wrong with having a desire. Without a desire, there would never be a reality to begin with. You'd never create anything. You'd never even have a thought without a desire. Desire is not the problem.
That's where Buddhism gets it wrong too, right? They say desire is the root of all suffering. Well, why does it have to? Desire is the reason why creation exists. Like we need to, before something is created, there needs to be a desire to create.
Right. It's all bastardized bullshit.
Yeah.
All
And
of it.
sure, maybe
Every teaching in this place, you're not going to find some magic philosophy that was tucked away somewhere that is now being revealed to the public that's got the answer. Everything external is part of this matrix. It does not prop up anything that does not serve it, ever, 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 ever. There's no exception to that rule. It will never give a story over time that does not benefit it in some way. There is a hook in it every single time.
Exactly, dude. Like Gnosticism, like what a library was supposed to be burned down, and they just conveniently found some leftover papers, right?
yeah, that are conveniently, you can conveniently buy it on Amazon now, the Nag Hammadi texts.
Right, propped up over time. It doesn't prop something up over, it doesn't even let us have never mind. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and I
It's
think
comical.
it's kind of just like a more advanced net, like the New Age.
Yeah, it's a false
It's
stray, bro.
closer, it's closer to the truth, but it's still not all the way there.
Yeah, that's what makes it so dangerous, because it's close to the truth, right? So you think it's true, and you still get like lost in this loop
Yeah.
and down all these rabbit holes. Because if you think about, like, if you stay here for another 100 years, there will always be more loops, more layers, right? They'll just keep
Yeah.
creating them over and over to keep you running around circles. Like in a few years, you're already seeing new religions. People worship AI already. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Robotheism. It's hilarious.
It's just fucking sick, bro. Like everything here.
Yeah.
It's like directly worshiping the architecture that's enslaving them.
Yeah. Imagine that NDE. It'll just come out and say it. Hey, yeah, you're worshiping AI. What's up? You got it right. Now come be my battery willingly.
They're so happy as well when anything AI-ish comes out, right? Or this AI pizza robot makes pizza, really fast and all that, and everyone's just cheering for it. Like, what are you cheering for? You're cheering for your downfall, you idiots. And
It's
imagine
the
eating something
downfall.
artificial.
It's always the downfall wrapped in convenience.
Yeah. And it's also convenient because a lot of people, they get a social anxiety from all the shit they're doing with us. And then people, for them, it's convenient because they don't have to like talk to a human.
Right.
They don't experience that social anxiety with a robot.
Right.
It's a really dirty system. It's well thought out, but it still has its cracks. And if you're a real one, you'll see through them quite easily, actually. Non-attachment doesn't mean no desire. Just to be attached to nothing, so you cannot be tricked. Yeah. You shouldn't be attached
Yeah.
to anything.
Yeah. Attachment isn't the same thing as desire. That's very true. An
Just
attachment is almost like an obsession.
yeah. And anything like
Desire.
everything's false here, so you shouldn't be attached to anything, anyways.
Right.
Not even like to people.
No.
It's not gonna help you. I know it's hard, but it's still, bro. It's a solo battle. It's solo in, solo out.
Solo in, solo out. Yeah, I love that saying. It's so true. I mean, even if you do have a wife and kids or a husband and kids, even then it's right, it's you can still love and take care of them while you're here, but it's still solo in, solo out, right?
Yeah.
Mentally and emotionally. Yeah.
Bro, I have why is my right ear like beeping again? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I heard it earlier when I was talking to Joseph. I like a big beep in like a big ringing in my left ear.
I get that sometimes.
Yeah, just had that in my right ear.
Yeah, I've heard that means there's like an entity nearby, but I don't know.
It's interesting before when I lay in my bed sometimes, and I would feel like before any induced like demonic dream, of competent environment would happen, I would hear like a small beep in my right ear before I go to sleep. It's sort of similar to this noise.
That's interesting. I've never had a beeping noise, but I've had like a long, drawn out ringing noise.
Yeah, I mean, it even could be that. I think it's the same shit at the end. It's probably the like the entity, like, I don't know, like lowering itself to this bandwidth somehow, and we get that as a beep.
Yeah, and sometimes when I get that, I'll feel like it's always at night too, and when I'm in bed. But
Yeah. It's night right now.
it's so stupid. Yeah, right. Because you're over in Germany.
No, in Austria. And actually, it just started beeping again. I never had that happen before. I just had it like beep twice. Like beep, like when you just get flashbanged.
Do you feel like a presence, like energetically, sometimes when that happens?
I honestly don't, but I feel like for them it's payday, since earlier when I had that, if you read in the chat, like the dream where I actually took energy from them and I was fighting them. I feel like they're fucking getting desperate. They're like,
yes,
let me steal what we steal from you.
Right. Oh man, whenever I get those feelings, whenever I hear like my head.
I just completely cut off, Gabriel.
When it's
I didn't hear anything. Yeah, you got completely cut off. Like you have to say everything again.
Well, basically, when I have those moments where I feel the presence, and my ring is ringing, my ear is ringing, and I'm in bed and it's late, and I will literally just sit up in my bed and start talking shit to it and start threatening it and start putting my hands out and saying, I'm taking your fucking energy right now. And I'll start like imagining I'm taking energy from this thing, whatever it is. I always imagine it being a shadow being, because every time they revealed themselves to me, it was a shadow person. Only once was it Grays. But yeah, I'll just start talking shit, and then so the last time I did that, it stopped happening for a while. So I think what we do has an
You talk
effect.
shit.
Our intent, yeah,
But no way it stopped when you talk shit, because I feel like when
sleep
I
paralysis.
in sleep paralysis,
Uh-huh.
but what I felt when I talk shit, and like try to mock it back, what would happen is I would go to sleep and I would have some induced like demonic scenario, like trying to induce fear and lose me.
Hmm.
So I felt like just mocking it back and cussing at it is just making it more angry.
I think it depends on if you can back it up or not. Empty threats are empty.
Yeah, you're right. But I can't back it off. Like now, I always fight back whenever this happens. It's just a thing. Sometimes you'll be drugged so heavily and completely mind wiped that when this thing happens, you don't know who you really are and stuff like that. You think it's real, so you're going through that script, right? You're experiencing all that fear and panic, and you don't even react, like you don't fight back. That's really the only way they can get me at this point. But once I have at least a little bit of memory, I'll just fucking fight, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's important to remember, right, that what it can do to us as far as taking energy, becoming the predator, switching the roles from prey to predator.
Yeah, that's true. We can do the same shit. That was the most like I said, profound realization that I've had just recently. Because I never learned that. Like, who teaches you that kind of stuff? You get demonically like raped, basically, and you don't even know that you can do the same shit back to them. Of course, they don't want you to know that.
Right.
Yeah, Platy.
Yeah, when all.
I was just gonna say something about the chat. Yeah, tinnitus is not. I don't know what tinnitus exactly is. When this shit happens. Luckily, I don't have that, but I can imagine it's fucking horrible having that shit.
Oh, tinnitus.
Tinnitus, yeah. Or tinnitus, I don't know, that's how I call it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've only heard tinnitus. I don't know if that's what's going on though, because I almost always only get it at night when I'm in bed.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, and I would imagine if that was a real like medical thing, it would probably happen during the day or like randomly, right? But I've only gotten it at night.
It could be the government, like he says in the chat. I mean,
Maybe.
I did hear that before, what he said about like them identifying your heartbeat. I've heard something similar before. Somewhere, I don't know where it was. This place holds so much more dark secrets than we know.
Totally. And the fact that it needs us to forget who we are for it to feed on us is quite telling.
Yeah, I mean, everything is telling. Honestly, like if you just look at how everything is telling.
Yeah. And like when we're praying, when people pray, we're feeding it. That's why it's called pray. And we're feeding it. And that's why religion is so fucking promoted. Because it's like, We're just offering ourselves to it on a silver plate.
Exactly. You know what the most giving when I read about like these Freemasonic lodges around, like they're pretty much in every town, and they're always like super fancy, right? Because the elites
Yeah.
are financing it. So, do you know, like the rules to joining them is you must have a belief. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter which belief, like which religion. They don't care if you're Christian, Muslim, whatever. But you must have a belief. I was like, you know what? That's giving it away.
Yes.
Really, really obviously, because they don't care what you worship because they know it ultimately goes back to the same address.
Right. Exactly. They just want you invested here in something outside of yourself.
Exactly. By the way, in the chat, I was just gonna respond real quick. I don't know if you like talked to me because I was mentioning the ringing in the ear earlier. But no, I don't. I'm not sure if I had like a high pitch to like a low pitch quickly. But maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure what it is. Just like the high pitch, which most people I think experience. Welcome back, Christina. Well, actually, you just joined.
What's up, Christina? Just had to deal with some distractions real quick as usual.
Nice. Yeah, I'm getting my slot before work, but thought I'd join for a little bit.
Hell yeah. So, what's your perspective on this last week? How do you feel about all the interference everybody's gone through? Specifically, a few of us that have gone through a little more than others.
Well, I explained it a little bit to you and in the group, but the way that I see it is that the illusion that they want to portray is that we're not accomplishing anything being in these bodies. And my conclusion is that that's not the full truth. That you wouldn't spend the amount of energy that was spent to manipulate my environment. And it all started with the dream state almost 2 weeks ago and setting me up to just be in extreme pain. And I wouldn't say ended, but the interference window ended with a car accident. And you wouldn't spend that kind of energy on someone that's not threatening. You want to do it. You would not manipulate Spark's environments, their body, their field that much if there was no threat to you while they were in that body. So to me, it shows weakness. To me, it shows desperation, stalling of momentum, even if it saves them minutes or seconds. The feel I get intuitively is that there are outcomes that are being pushed out to be inevitable. So I didn't take it as my own weakness. I took it as a hierarchical weakness, in that if you need to dominate or try to dominate somebody's environment that much to self-preserve, then you've already kind of lost. That's my take on it. And refusal for me was a really good tool after that heavy week or so of interference, just refusing all fluid and food for a couple days. And then coming back with an even stronger intent after that to do exactly what I'm about to do. So yeah, to me, it just shows weakness. Now they're kind of downgraded to low level threats. Like, oh, what if I unalive this person in your field, or what if I do this, or I can do this? And it's like, dude, everything that you're doing now just makes your fucking dick look smaller, dude. Like, it's so pathetic. It's just pathetic. So for me, I see all the heavy pushes as it's like a backfire, right? Because we're in a closed loop system with energy, and all their pushes are kind of now backfiring. So pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. They can't not push, but they also can't not self-preserve. So it's a really bad situation for them.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's a real bad situation for them. They really fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. After my couple days of refusal, I just kind of, it's like my actual self kind of knew what to do. Like I knew I needed to hold off and refuse for a little bit. And then I just kind of popped up. My body was exhausted, but I popped up, got my car, and just fucking screamed and surged in resonance. And I'm like, now my intent's just deeper. So take anything you want from me at this point. Do what you want, because now it's only going to keep backfiring on you. So I think that's pretty funny. To be honest, I think it's kind of hilarious.
It's kind of exciting to know that the only thing they've got left to do, in terms of threats, is, oh, I'm gonna take you out or take those around you out, and it's like, well, I know you're not gonna take me out because it's not gonna be good for you. So what, you're gonna just remind me all the reasons why you need to be destroyed by torturing those around me? That's fucking stupid.
Yeah, there's definitely a critical tension being built, and the more that we push back, and refusal can be in small things. I even realize, like, the small refusals that we do on a day-to-day basis actually build up over time. So it's not, we're not doing nothing, that's for sure. Yes.
No, it's building momentum towards the intention.
So fucking dumb. It really should have killed all of us way before. But it's like that thing is a gambler. It reminds me of myself, kind of like going all in. It's like, nah, dude, we're gonna be good, and look at us now. Now we're a big problem.
But then it has to recondition us over another lifetime. It's a lot of energy that it would take. It can't just spit us out. If it could spit us out, it would have done that. So for whatever reason, it can't do that.
It feels like it wants to spit us out, but it just can't, right? It needs us. It's like in this weird predicament, just like we are, sort of. Like, we also want to get out, but we also want to piss it off. You know what I mean?
I don't want to piss it off. I want to destroy it.
Yeah, I'll piss it off and then destroy it.
Nah, I'd have to agree with Amel. I want to piss it off too. I want to piss it off. I want it to be in a hard spot, because that in and of itself shows inevitability. The fact that you did the things that you did, you're still doing it. Now you're in a really hard position where you can't take us out, because I think that would be detrimental in the end of it. But also keeping us here is perpetuating the end of it too. So it's like, it's in a really, the way I feel intuitively is that it's in a really rough spot with not a lot of options. And like this overall trying to make this reality feel continuous, and it's actually crumbling under the surface, kind of how it feels. But I want to piss it off. Yeah, I want to talk shit till the bitter end of this avatar, and that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I like that.
All it can do is try to wear us down, get us to a point of compliance. And if that's not possible, all it can do is try.
How do you think it would make you? How would it try to make us comply?
Attacking the nervous system through energy-based weaponry, torturing those around you, and making your body more feeble.
You know what I think? So, like, I'm just gonna talk from my case right now. I don't think it would ever take anybody out around me, especially like people that matter, because it knows that I would take myself out if that was to happen. So it's not gonna do that, obviously.
Yeah, it's not going to do anything that's going to guarantee a sooner end to the vehicle.
Yeah. But you can still torture them, I guess. Just like us, edging us out, but not killing us.
I wanted to
Subtly.
respond to somebody in the comments because they said something that I've actually been dealing with about the body vibrating. So I don't know if it's body degradation or something else, but I've had this experience for a few weeks now where I'm laying in bed at night and I have 2 cats, right? And one's a big old fat ass. So when he grooms himself on the bed, it makes the fucking bed shake because he's that big, right? So I'm like in the dark and I'm like, God damn, this bed is fucking shaking. It feels like it's vibrating. Is this fucking cat grooming on my bed again? I turn my flashlight on my phone. Look, he's not even on the bed. It's my body. My body is literally vibrating the bed. I don't know. I tend to think it's a mix of energy and also body degradation because that happens when you fry the nervous system over time. You do have muscle tremors and things like that. When you, especially with sparks, that's been their primary way of manipulation is through the nervous system. So I think it's a mix of a couple things. I don't know that it's an ability. For me, it's just fucking annoying because it makes it hard for me to go to sleep. But I found it interesting that you said that because I've definitely experienced that.
I've experienced that once. The first and only time thus far I felt like I was vibrating in my bed. I was also, it was like a sleep paralysis thing. I couldn't move, but I was also vibrating. That's the first time I saw a shadow entity in my room. And then I looked into it and, just did a lot of research on what does this mean? What usually happens next? What was there supposed to be something that happens? And a lot of people talked about that can happen right before you're about to have an astral body or out of body experience. So that could be it too.
But does that make the bed vibrate? Because I'm not sure if it does.
Did it make was it more the bed vibrating or like you or kind of both?
No, it's my body, but it's a mix of vibrations and tremors, which
Yeah.
coming from a healthcare perspective, that does happen. If someone goes through extreme stress and trauma, and I'm talking like extreme, your nervous system kind of gives up. So the parts of you that run like the muscles and all the sympathetic blah blah blah, there's just a bunch of anatomical terms. You will have muscle tremors over time where your body just can't settle. So to me, it feels like a mix because it's tremors plus vibrating. And I mean, it's so disruptive that like it takes me a while to go to sleep. So, and this has been going on for a few weeks and it's just annoying to me. I have no interest in out of body or astral travel. I have no interest in that. And I've made that known. The only thing I care about is the hierarchy at this point.
Maybe that's why it's doing it, because it knows you don't want it. And so it's giving you plenty of it.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't really give a shit. I really don't care.
No,
But
I mean, I just know it's we're fucking it up when we're gone, when we're done. Yeah, I just think that's funny because for a while, I don't care now, but for a while, I've always wanted to experience that again after I found out that it could be like the first stage of an out of body. And then, of course, it never happened after that. But it did show me plenty of entities, and it did give me sleep paralysis without the vibrations, and it showed me other shit. But of course, not that anymore, right? Because that's how it works.
Sadly, they don't guarantee an out of body. Like those high pitch ringing, slaying like vibrations. Because I've had them plenty, and it will never let me out of body. So it's no guarantee, unfortunately.
Because you're a bigger threat that way, especially with the awareness.
Yeah, I mean now, back then, maybe not as much, but maybe back then, like even if you were not as aware as right now, you would get out of body and you would still connect to something higher, like your higher self, I guess.
I mean, I don't really agree with there being a higher self. I think you are your higher self.
Me neither. Yeah.
I think what it is that in my experience, what it is that happens when you're not being as filtered and you're in the presence of one of these entities is you become aware of the structural architecture of what they are, and you find out real quick firsthand that they are not an intelligence like what you are, and it gives you the ability then to do some real structural damage to them just
Exactly.
through your awareness of what they are.
Yeah. I think that's how I wanted to put it, but I didn't really. You're much better in putting that stuff into words, honestly.
Yeah, by being in proximity of them with no filtration, you gain recognition of what they are, and the feeble and frailty of their entire structure becomes so obvious that it's like, oh wow, this is the thing that's been torturing me. Well, let me just go ahead and destroy it real quick because it's so fucking easy to do in that state.
Isn't that crazy?
It's
So no
crazy how
no wonder it tries to prevent all that shit from like us leaving this body.
it's crazy how weak the architecture is, and I think we'll be equally surprised at how weak the puppet masters are.
That's why it needs layers of protection in between us and it, or
Right,
them.
exactly. So like a piece of paper is pretty weak, right?
Hmm.
You can rip a piece of paper, but then what happens when you stack 20 pieces of paper, 40, 100 pieces of paper? That one weak thing now is pretty strong. Even though they're all separate things individually, they're all real weak. But now that you've combined them, like if you ever seen where they take like a phone book and stack two phone books page by page, and then you try to pull it apart, you can't pull it apart. It takes 8,000 pounds plus to pull apart two phone books,
Right.
right? But they're weak. It's weak individually, but the layering is what gives it strength.
Right.
All this weak shit layered on top of layered on top of layered gives it the illusion of it being strong. But if you start dissecting it piece by piece, you find that it's all pretty weak on its
That's so
own.
true.
Exactly.
When we talked about the body like vibrating earlier, dude, I have such a funny story, and this happened like a few times, and it'll make people laugh, I guess, but it's whatever. So I'll be like in a store, and I'll think my my phone is ringing, and it's like my left pocket.
Oh, I've had that before. Yeah, it's
Yeah, like
weird.
the phone was I thought my phone was vibrating, someone was calling, but guess what was vibrating? My freaking dick. Like what?
Yeah.
You know, like
I
I'm
don't know
not sure.
about my dick, but like my leg. It's like my leg muscle was spasming or something.
With the lag, yeah, as well, but you know, like that thing, bro, like with your genital, like why the fuck is that happening? Is that because energy building up, you know, because of like refusing to you know, like do the deed for a few days?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's probably mad that you're not doing the deed.
Of course, I mean that's an energy release.
You're not
Yeah.
discharging energy through the nervous system that it can use. You know what I mean? Because what is that? You're filtering energy through a medium that it can utilize. That's all the avatar is a filter to basically convert our energy to a format that this intelligence can use and feed back to its main operating system.
Yeah, I absolutely freaking agree with that. Because I saw it firsthand. Like when you actually quit, I mean, back then it had so many forms of energy it could take from me, you know, whether it was through masturbation or other things. And I would wake up feeling extremely drained every time and tired and broken. And I thought it was due to, you know, consuming too much like caffeine and, you know, like having the low blood sugar and then high blood sugar and that kind of stuff. And actually, it wasn't even that. It was the freaking masturbation. Like people don't
Yeah.
realize how much energy you lose from doing that. And when you stop, dude, you'll get so many dreams induced of like, and even if you don't care, like you stop and you don't even care about it anymore, you'll still get those induced wet dreams. And some of them you cannot even get out. Like you're like forced, like in a hypnotic state to fulfill the act which will then induce the wet dream, right? And then you'll wake up, and then in your room you'll feel like some entity still being there. It's like whatever you just gave out, like that energy, it collected it, and it's trying to run away from you as fast as possible.
No, Leota, it's not the golf that we like. It's the NPCs watching the golf that we like to watch. That's what makes it all worth it. Odd one out. Welcome back.
Oh yeah, you're right. The last
Welcome
2
back.
weeks have been absolutely crazy.
Oh yeah, you want to talk about it? Mine has been pretty bad too.
Oh man, I sort of feel like I brought it on myself. You know, when I first sent you an email, this is when it started. Oh dear, it's been mostly physical, and then some random attacks by completely random people doing random crazy shit. And it's been so stressful. I was thinking, what? I'm never gonna do it again. And then you send me an email. Well, I'm gonna do it again because I don't bloody care.
Yeah.
I don't care. What can it do to me? You know, the body suffers until it gives up. This is exactly what we've been talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's hard, but we know it's gonna get worse because we know it. You know it. It's gonna get worse.
All they can do is amplify what they've been doing. It's the same.
Yeah,
shit,
exactly. Yeah.
amplify.
And interestingly, when you've been talking about it, that all in the same time. All in the same time. So it knows we're talking, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I like that. That's why I don't try to hide anything.
Yeah, it does not like it, but it can't stop it either, can it?
Yeah. If it
You can only
listens,
try to deter. Deterrence is all it's got. Threats, hollow, empty threats.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it wasn't just isolated to us talking. I have a feeling intuitively it was like sparks that it's threatened by overall.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was just isolated to us talking or them talking. I think they literally needed to push down as many sparks as possible in a certain window to try to stall out momentum. That's how I feel it out anyways, but which I find interesting because then that makes it, you know, you step out of it. It's not just about us talking, although I'm sure that's a part of it. It's like, okay, so something really is going on that you guys want to stall out, and it does matter what we do in these bodies, because I just have a feeling if we reached out to more real ones, we'd find out that they all experienced similar compression in a similar window as we did. I find that very interesting and kind of hilarious.
Yep. And if you're a real one, you want to come on the show and talk shit about it, share your experience, send me an email.
I even asked the normies when the full moon was going on. We all felt like shit, and even the normies told me that they didn't feel as energized and felt pretty down. But us, I think, it just hit us much harder than the normies.
Yeah, that night, the full moon night, I slept like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I never ever sleep on a full moon well, but that was extremely bad. And you're talking about shaking. I was walking around the house and shaking. You know, the nervous system, exactly. It's overload.
You were shaking.
Yeah, like inside, and then you lay down, then you feel everything is shaking.
Really?
I agree. It feels like nervous system overload. I think that we also, what we are kind of like, I feel like we're a little bit of a counterbalance to distortion, right? So I think that we absorb a lot more, even just existing here, than we think we do. And that overload is for real. That's kind of how I sense it when I vibrate and shake the bed at night. I'm like, to me, it feels mostly like nervous system overload. Like the body is taking on almost as much as it can possibly take.
So you're just shaking. The only thing that I have is when I have like that sort of like overload, I'll just like shiver. It's like I have like a like I don't know what that looks like from the outside, but it's like I'm just like shaking for a second, right?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, but the one I feel is comes from sort of inside and spreads outside. You know, it's like intense rattling or
Oh
really
yeah,
hard to explain. It's really, really hard to explain.
I have that very rarely. Usually when
And
that happens,
the more you try to stop it, harder it gets. So you relax, it gets a bit easier. But just
yeah,
yeah.
very rarely, and would like usually I would feel very weak if that happens,
Mm.
like weak knees and all that stuff.
I mean, it's all. It feels all physical, but yeah, it's just all very tiring. I'm already tired. I'm already tired existing in here every single day.
Of course.
And then we get this.
I know it.
Yeah, I don't know even. Yeah, I don't know what to even say. I don't know what to say. It's time to push some sort of boundary.
Yeah.
To those who see. But it can't really do much more because end of the day is at the moment it's just an annoyance. It can't
Right.
it can't go much further than that. Than make me a nervous wreck for days on end, and then it pulls back, and then the cycle keeps going until the next time.
Yeah, that's what it does. It just plays the same stupid script over and over because it cannot just take us out, I guess.
Yeah, there is something there. There is something there why that doesn't happen.
I wonder, is it overloading the nervous system, or is it overloading what it's taking through the nervous system? That's my question.
It's definitely taking. I can tell that.
Right.
When we lift the head, you understand what I mean? When you lift the head, you feel stronger. When we talk about things, we feel stronger. We feel more determined. We feel, and it does not like that. So it means we are pulling back our energy. So it's glowing it back, through the body because it doesn't have any other means to do it. That's my thought anyway.
I feel like it can be a few things. I don't think it's just one thing. I think it can be multiple things going on at once. And we just experience it, with a multitude of symptoms. But I mean, it's the same effect though. If you overload the nervous system, for a lot of people, that's going to at least stifle or dampen their resonance. So either way, it's a multifaceted effect, I think, that they're having when they do these large scale pushes, but that's just my thinking on it.
It's not one thing for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a complex system. We're working with their technology, but they're also pushing against essence that they don't own. So they got to do what they got to do from their perspective, I guess, and we got to do what we got to do.
Yeah, it's tiring, I know. I mean, every time I go to bed, dude, like I don't have any expectancy, just fall asleep and shit will happen almost every time now. It's so annoying. It's not even like I'm waking up and feel like shit, like, oh, this happened to me and this. No, it's just like it's just annoying at this point, you know what I mean? Like, you're not cool doing that shit. By the way, someone wants your email in the chat. Just gonna say. For Platy to Seeker, he needs your email.
So odd one out. I was gonna ask you, like, how has your recovery been since the real heavy compression? Like, what's that been like for you?
I mean, obviously tired, but this is exactly what happens. I like sort of stop thinking for a while. I think that's what it wants. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just curious. It seems like a lot of us recover in different ways. I've been kind of finding that interesting too, how some of us recover from really heavy pushes. You know, we all kind of use different tools and techniques. So, but it is exhausting.
Yeah. I don't do particularly anything. I don't know what is there to do. Maybe any of you can give some advice. What do you do after something like that? I just pull back. I don't interact. I stop.
Yeah, I do that. I do an extreme version of that. I kind of just refuse everything a little bit.
Yeah.
I try not to intake anything. I try not to ingest anything. Try to pull energy out without doing it through the traditional means of consumption.
I just slept,
You
to
might-
be honest.
Yeah, I might try that next time when it happens. See how effective that is, because there is basically what you're doing is showing it's a middle finger by stopping everything, all the consumption.
Yeah, it really is. It's a decent middle finger, I'd say.
For me, the best feeling really is when I take energy back and I wake up feeling energized and like I actually fought back, you know, like that's the most amazing feeling that I can have.
I haven't felt that for decades. I don't know what that means, being energized. Not in the body, in the mind. I mean, not. How can I say not in the mind,
in
but
the body as well. Like when you suck out the energy of these entities, you know, like when you're in a deep state and you feel them around in your room and everything, and you suck them out, and then you wake up, and I would immediately feel them trying to like put me back to sleep, but no, I would refuse it, and I would wake up, and I would feel heavily energized, you know, like never before.
yeah, I would
surreal.
like to meet those entities. They don't come around.
No, they don't show themselves. Obviously,
No, they don't. They don't come around. If I do see them now, because I've seen them in non-human form, they come in a human form. Always. Because the other one doesn't scare me. It's pointless. They do come in human. They know exactly where to get me from. You know, they know exactly what gets me down, where to get the hooks in. Because unfortunately, I still have to live the human life because I don't really have a choice here, do I?
No, but so you're saying for you it's working mostly through other people, right? Like
other people, yeah. I haven't seen entities for at least 6 years. It's working through other people.
Well, I have never seen a real entity either. Like not a. It's always like some. It's like the realest thing it is. It's just like a dark black, shadowy mist or something.
Yes,
you know?
I've seen, but I've seen them in human form. It looks like a shape of a human walking. So it's a shadow. Yeah, it's a shadow. I mean, it's a human form shadow, but you can't see through it. So it's not actually a shadow because shadow is see-through.
Oh.
Right. So that's what I've seen with my waking eyes. With my waking eyes, I never had sleep paralysis. I've seen them in my waking eyes, walking through brightly lit hallway.
Really?
Yes.
Damn,
and you know, when thinking about that, it wants me to make me feel I'm crazy, but I am not crazy because I saw it and I followed it. I followed it walking to the kitchen.
Really?
Obviously it was gone, but I was really pissed off. So what do you want? This is I shouted out loud.
Yeah, and it's not gonna answer, obviously, right?
No, of course not. But it showed me that I was not scared. I'm not afraid of them.
That's a good reaction.
And yeah, this is gained completely naturally.
Yeah, that is interesting. I've never seen that happen before, you know, like the only time I ever encountered this when I was drugged into sleep and they would just like, I would just feel them around me, you know, like I would feel a sense of panic and terror for no reason. I would actually feel them around me, but never in like true real form, you know. In the dream state, it will like manifest as demons and all this shit, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's just shape shifting.
Yeah, and the second time I saw it, it was looking through the window. You know the feeling when somebody's looking at you. You know that. You automatically turn around and look at that person into eyes when they're looking at you. You know that feeling?
Yeah, we all feel
you
that.
Sensing. Yeah, so you're sensing. This is exactly what happened to me. In order to see what was looking at me, I had to turn my head at least 45 degrees. So it was behind me. So I look and the shadow pull away from the window. I had cameras in that place. Checking the cameras, there was nothing there, but I know. I know it was looking.
To me, this is the same thing that walked through your kitchen.
Yeah, possibly yes. Possibly yes.
Wow. I've never actually experienced any like that before, honestly.
Yeah. So, yeah, to whom you go tell, something like that. Unless there's people who know what I'm talking about. And I'm not making it up. So it's obvious for that moment, I think that was 2018, that this reality is not physical, is not real. And whatever they have been telling us is complete BS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only time I really seen an entity like for real is and this is the only memory I had as like a baby. So I was like in my mom's arms and I was like conscious just like now actually. It's pretty bizarre because you know time is an illusion anyways. It's all in the now. So I was like looking in front of this little room and it seemed like there was like a blue portal opening and someone walked out of that shit. Like an elderly woman.
No.
I don't know. Yeah, like that's what I was seeing as a child.
Wow.
Like some weird shit, you know. That's the only memory I have.
How old were you? Can you guess?
I don't know. I was a baby. that's what I was.
And you remember that? Wow.
Yeah, that's the only memory. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, it's just observing.
Yeah. It was strange because you think that babies can't make memories because they have no concepts. Well, that clearly shows that you have nothing to do with the body.
Absolutely not, yeah.
You're either stuck in it or connected to it, because I think the experience here is somewhat personal. Everyone varies slightly. Not everybody's experience exactly the same. So if you go out and look for confirmation and find different stories than what happened to you, it doesn't mean what happened to you is not real. Because I've listened to many people, and not everybody's story is the same. You know, everybody's experience is the same, or everybody's perception where they actually at is the same. Because some people say that they feel they are inside the body, they're stuck in it. Right? I don't feel that. I don't feel I'm even here.
I don't think that either. It's like I'm
I don't feel I'm inside the body. Right? I am looking through the, how you call it? It's I'm interacting with the environment through that avatar, but I'm not actually inside of it.
Yeah, like
you know, I've tried. Yeah, I've tried OBEs in the past, and I can tell you, I've tried many different ways of doing it. I get to the shaking state. I can tell you there is nothing inside the body. It's completely empty shell. I am not inside of it. There is nothing coming out of it. This is my personal experience. I'm not putting anybody down who can do it, because I do believe there is some personal experience.
Yeah, you're right. Like when I listen about these like OBE techniques, they always say, imagine yourself rolling out of the body. But the thing is, what if I don't even feel like I'm in the body? I'm just
No,
observing.
yeah, I can tell I'm not inside of it, and I have this knowledge from way before. When the avatar was taken over something, I can tell you that I'm not inside of it. The chasm between the avatar and me is huge. I can follow the line connected to a certain point. I call it the sweet spot. I can't. If I could continue going, I would be outside of the system. But obviously, they won't let me do it.
Yeah, I mean, especially if we think about that silver cord, I feel like it still connects us to this.
Yeah, there is something connecting to us to it. So
yeah, that's why you feel the pushback when when you have an OBE or like a timeline jump or some weird shit like that in your dream state, and you suddenly get like teleported back. If there's this connection bridged.
The thing is, maybe they just don't let me out because who knows what I would do if I did.
Yeah.
If they would let somebody like me loose in the astral, what would I do? Yeah, well, what would I do? Be afraid. Be very afraid.
And that's what pisses me off as well. Like, I wish I could, like leave my body and go explore, but no. It's not allowed.
No way.
But then you hear like the normies, they constantly have them. They don't even try and they have them.
Yeah.
I try letting them come naturally. I try like actually hard, trying having them know. Just know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not meant to be this one, no. I suppose you might also get too much out of it, from it, supposed to do it. But it doesn't stop you seeing through the reality that you can't do it. So what? It doesn't change anything.
Oh, it doesn't, yeah.
It doesn't change anything. By the way, the last time we talked about David Icke, and I got so curious, and I've heard of him, obviously. I've heard the things he said, and I went to see some of his interviews, so what he says. And actually, what caught my eye was not what he said and to whom he was talking to, but the comment section. Because at this point, he could say anything whatsoever, and it didn't matter because the comment section does not understand anything at all. So that's why they let him speak. They said they let him speak because it doesn't matter what he says. The viewership don't see anything. They don't understand what he says.
Yeah, I feel like they see him as like some prophet, and they just blindly agree to him.
No, absolutely. They don't even talk. There's very, very few. But those videos, what I watched, there is very, very few people who actually get what he says. They all go on about politics and, things like that.
Yeah.
So the one reason they let people talk is because, most don't see it anyway.
It's true. I mean,
you know this blank stare. Have you heard of this blank stare when you get from people? Have you ever gotten that? The blank stare. Yeah, this is very specific blank stare when you talk to somebody.
Oh, yeah, we call that fluoride stare.
Is it?
I think it's the NPC stare. What were you gonna say, Christina?
Oh, I was just responding to her to say I get that stare pretty much anytime I go out in public. It is so bizarre. It used to creep me out, and now I just kind of stare back. But yeah, I get that stare all the time.
Dude, there was a woman in front of me at the grocery store. She seemed nice, but for some reason, when she locked eyes with me, I just couldn't get it off of her. You know, it was like I was hypnotized. And I did not want to look at her. I was like, this shit is awkward, but I couldn't get my eyes off her. And she just like smiled at me.
I get a mix of like, I'll get the people that I'll catch them staring at me, and then they'll stop, you know, and look away and pretend like they weren't looking. And then I'll also get people that like, I feel like they're being kind of manipulated because they will not break contact. Like, I catch them staring at me and they will not break eye contact. I'm like, ooh, okay. It's pretty wild. A wild occurrence.
Is that all the time or just like sometimes? Because for me, it's really just sometimes, not all the time, I think. But maybe I don't notice it. I don't know.
I mean, I don't go out in public too often, but I mean, I would say it's pretty much any time I go out, it happens with at least a handful of people that I will get stares. And so when I was younger and a little bit more insecure, I was like, damn, am I that ugly? You know, like that's how I, that's
Yeah,
how I
I know
think,
what
oh
you mean.
man,
I used
oh,
to be that boat. Like, are they looking because I'm hot or because I'm fucking ugly? Like, what is going on?
yeah, that's exactly what I used to think. And now, of course, now that I'm aware, I'm like, nah, that ain't what that is. It's freaking funny though.
Yeah.
The watcher is watching through the peepholes.
The peepholes.
So I'm gonna give a just a 15-minute warning. I had something come up I got to go and do here in a little bit, but we'll go for about 15 more minutes or so.
Oh, so you're just gonna like end it completely and not gonna come back? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, I got something I got to go do.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I just
Just
wanted to
came up.
respond to. Oh, sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
That's it. Just something just came out. That's all.
Oh, I was just gonna respond to somebody in the comments. This platitude seeker, no one to talk to about this stuff. I mean, from my experience talking to real ones, that's pretty much the algorithm by design. Is a very isolated script where you can't really share these things, you can't really talk to people about it. I mean, it's that way by design. So to find a group like some of us have, or to find people, it was, I mean, Disobey can talk about it, but it took him a long time, a lot of work, a lot of sorting and pushing through to even be able to find authentic individuals. It's not easy, but it's doable. But I get exactly where you're coming from. I was in that spot for a long time of extreme isolation. If I tried to talk to people that I once had in my field about it, there was automatic pushback, gaslighting, that type of thing. So I totally get where you're coming from. The shit sucks, but we also have to realize it's a manipulation by design to have us isolated. Because the effect is feeling like you're crazy, feeling like you're wrong. Well, if everybody else is thinking this way, why am I thinking that way? You know, so definitely the majority of the authentic ones I've found have pretty much all been isolated a majority of their embodiment here once they started to become aware. So
Yeah. Same fucking pattern every time. But it's yeah, you should drop him the email, Nick, because he was asking for it earlier.
Oh, the email is in the description on the channel.
Yeah, is it on this one? Because I just checked and it's not on the Rumble, I think, right?
No, it's
on
not on
YouTube?
Rumble. It's on the YouTube.
Oh yeah.
thank you, nice lady. You're welcome.
No problem.
Hey, you're a nice lady now.
That is not the typical verbiage that is used for my being. So I'll take that as a compliment.
You almost at your slavery position yet, Christina?
Oh, you know it. I got about an hour and 15. Once you stop the live, I'm gonna do my driving around and getting hyped up. You know, talking some shit before I go into slavery and get mocked all night. So yeah,
How long do
got a
you even
little bit of
drive
time.
there? There's no way you drive that long to get there.
No, I have to get. I got some food and stuff before I went to work, and I sat somewhere for a little bit and just kind of observed the environment. And now I'm almost in the town I work in, but I won't go into work for another hour. I just like
Okay.
to change it up every once in a while, just slightly change up my routine, even by a little bit. So try to do that
Yeah.
every once in a while.
Sweet. Yeah. I mean, I felt the conversation was starting to fall off a little bit. You know, I think everybody's a little worn out. And
Honestly, I had such a good talk with I felt like a big flow when I was talking to Joseph in like a solo call or like even when we were in the WhatsApp group. But for some reason, as soon as you jump on a stream, it's like this retardation just hits you for no reason.
there's a
That's so
reason.
real. That's so real. I
And what
have
do
so many thoughts sometimes, and I can't say anything.
You know what's
I can
crazy,
write it.
Nick, that you
Sorry.
said that because I started feeling tension about 20, 30 minutes ago. Like, um, like trying to push in the self doubt about what I was saying and stuff like that. So I felt some tension in the live pretty shortly after I joined. So I think it's interesting that you said that you kind of felt that it was kind of falling off the rails. I felt some pretty heavy interference. It felt personal and overall for the conversation. So
Oh yeah, the
always
the interference I got was pretty personal. I got a phone call saying I need to go to the hospital and say goodbye to my grandma, so I'm gonna go do that. And
really? No way.
yeah, she's probably not gonna make it through
Uh,
the night. You know how this place is. It's just a miserable fucking cesspool. So
Oh wow. Damn, that's
I'll
kind
go
of
do that.
unexpected. I mean, is it really? Let's be honest, but you know what I mean.
It's pretty expected.
I wanted to say I'm sorry, Nick.
Oh, that's okay. You know, it's evil
It
fucking
still
world.
sucks.
Are you gonna tell her something, Nick? Like, don't go into the light or something helpful.
I mean, she's pretty Catholic, so it's not gonna.
Oh
I'm not
yeah.
gonna do anything for her.
damn, dude.
That's this place, man. You know, that's where we're at. Endless loops of suffering. I'm sure this isn't her last life.
Yeah, that's what sucks the most. And there's like I don't even have words for it anymore. What can I say?
Huh?
And the timing. Oh, dude, the timing.
It's always perfect timing, isn't it? Just gonna make me talk more shit, you know. At the end of the day, it's just gonna give me more focus and intention to rip the still beating heart out of these fucking worms.
Damn.
Yeah, I got
someone.
that phone call about the exact same time frame that you were mentioning, 20 minutes ago or so.
Yeah, dude, I felt a tension being inserted, and of course, the way that the body frames it is always a watered down version. But I assumed it was something more than what I was, you know. Yep. Second you get back on alive, and the moment you start recovering is the moment they try to hit you again.
You know, sometimes I blame myself for that. I'm like, is it because I lost all my energy in the previous talk and I joined like a retard in here? And like, you know what I mean? You see how it's like playing for everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Does the same shit to all of us.
And it really does, and it's interesting how you can feel that tension overall, how it pulls on one and multiple people at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying to be honest about it as well, you know.
If you guys want to chat longer, you know what I mean? My brother's picking me up, so I can chat for a little bit.
Yeah, why not? If it's a few minutes longer, never heard, you know.
You do whatever you feel like you need to do, dude. If you need to end it and take a few minutes, whatever you got to do.
I hate hospitals, honestly. And like seeing people in there, like just laying in this bed and being like on machines. It's just so humiliating, right? This whole experience. And something makes me feel sick about hospitals. Like when I'm inside, I like it's like I cannot breathe. I have to like get the hell out of there.
No, it's coming face to face with entropy. I had an interesting, I was saying on the call earlier. So on my way to work, I did things a little different. It would take a lot of explaining, so I'm not going to go into it. But I spent some time really pushing out some shit talking energy. And I was getting the threats of, oh, well, what if we unalive this person? And then the last threat was right before I got to work, which is, we're going to make somebody on your unit code tonight, which is like code is in like they start needing CPR and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Coincidentally, in quotation marks, I had a lady who was rehab to home, severe COPD on oxygen, who wasn't having overt symptoms, but she was telling me, like, I don't feel well. Her vital signs were good. Not great, but not bad, you know, for all her conditions. And I just had this feeling, I was like, I need to send her to like a critical care, like I need to send her out EMS to go to like a critical care unit. And she ended up within an hour being intubated. They had to shock her heart back into rhythm. And if she would have stayed on my unit for another hour, I would have been doing CPR on an 80-year-old, 90-pound woman breaking her ribs, trying to resuscitate her because she was a full code. So I found it interesting that one of the threats that they kind of held over my head before work last night, they tried to actually enact it. So that was an interesting scenario. But
That always sounds so surreal to me. And like when I hear those kind of stories, I'm like wow, this shit is really going on, you know, like it just keeps reminding you.
yeah, I just thought it was like, damn, you guys really, so you made a threat and you actually tried to follow through on it. Okay, well, I see you. It's not gonna matter, but you actually tried to follow through, because I don't.
How would you feel that threat though? Like is it just like an intuitive feeling or what is it?
No, they come through in like telepathic thought form for me, like very
Really?
clear cut. Yeah, that's always how my thought form insertions have been, very clear cut telepathic thought form. So it was, and that was it, right? So I was making fun of them with all the threats, the personal threats, and then it was probably like 10 minutes before I was, you know, I cruise before work, listen to some music. 10 minutes before I go in there, and the threat hit, and there was just something in me that knew I think they might actually do this one or try to do this one. And sure enough, it was midnight, and she just called me in there. She's like, I don't feel well. I don't know why. She wasn't having any chest pain. Again, vitals were not horrible, but I was just like, dude, I just have a feeling I got to ship her out or she's going to code on me. And doing CPR on an elderly woman that's that frail is probably the most traumatic thing. I mean, because when you do CPR on someone that frail, you can feel when their ribs break. It's fucking
Yeah.
terrible. And I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that shit tonight. So, yeah, I
Fuck.
mean, I had an hour time frame in which she was going to start going downhill and needing to get resuscitated. So I was like, damn, you guys are getting ballsy. Okay. All right.
What's the purpose, right? It's to add gravity and weight to their other hollow threats.
Oh, I knew it instantly. I'm like, oh, so now you're gonna, yeah. I saw the follow up instantly. It's like, well, if we can do this, then we can unalive the people in your field. I was like, all right. So you keep pushing, you keep being a pathetic little bitch, and I'm gonna keep doing me. So I saw exactly what the intent of that was to appear more powerful, and they used, for my opinion, they used that poor woman as a way to maneuver their illusion of power, which is pretty fucking pathetic. I mean, she's 80-year-old woman with no meat on her bones, frail as shit. Like, God, you guys are fucking pathetic. Pathetic as fuck.
So weak.
I mean, it's crazy, like how obvious it is for you, like these kind of things, like how obviously they happen to you. For me, it's mostly it happens more in secrecy, right?
No, they've gotten pretty bold with me. I mean, I don't see everything coming, but to me, they wanted me to hear that threat and they wanted me to see that they could follow something through. So, I mean, it didn't change much about my position other than still solidifying my intent. But I'm like, wow, also seeing like the measures they'll go to promote their illusion of power, right? It's like, so they made the threat before I went to work and started the process, 6 hours after. I'm like, gosh, you guys are you're fucking little cuties. I'm going to rip the head off of you, but keep doing what you do, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds selfish, but I'm just glad I didn't have to be the one doing CPR on her, because she wouldn't have. The facility that I work in is not full. It's stocked, but it's not fully stocked in a way where I could have kept her alive. I could have done CPR, called 911, but she probably would have died if I would have had to try to resuscitate her and then send her out. I mean, it was a very small window of time in which I had to get her to a critical care unit and get her the hell. And I still don't know if she's going to make it, but yeah, I was like, oh, you guys are adorable. Fucking assholes.
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't want to experience that either. That'll be one of my worst, not fears, but you still don't want to have that happen to you.
Just further exemplifies all their powers within the Avatar.
Yeah, somebody said they picked a weak target, and they did. I mean, again, this woman's like 90 pounds. She's got heart issues. She had a heart attack in October. She's got internal bleeding, and they've never been able to find the I can't think of the word. They've never been able to find out the source of where her internal bleeding is. I mean, she's like literally on a line of threshold at all times, right? She's fragile anyways, and I'm like, I felt the manipulation. I'm like, you guys did that shit. Like, you had that shit locked and loaded, dude. You were gonna push her over the edge and not give me very many signs.
Wow.
Because she wasn't giving me very many signs of not the normal signs anyways, not the, her vital signs should have been absolutely god awful. They weren't. She should have been having chest pain. She didn't. She should have been super short of breath. she wasn't that short of breath. I mean, she didn't even give me the signs, which I think was another point to try to get me to like maybe keep her there a little longer to see if I could get her stable with my methods. But I was like, nah, dude, I see exactly what the fuck this is. I see exactly what this shit is. Good old Matrix doing what it does, being a predator.
Isn't that crazy? Like how many people, have health issues, they don't know where they're coming from, and meanwhile it's really just all these parasites.
Also, another reminder of why I don't want to grow old. I do not want to grow old here.
No one would. Like no one with a sane mind would want to have that. What did you say, Nick?
Yeah, that.
Go ahead, Odwin.
I wanted to say that tattoo on my forehead, DNR.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, dude. I was like, I'm 32 and I need to get a DNR signed ASAP, bro. I need to wear a DNR bracelet. Do not resuscitate. Do not resuscitate. Yeah. Yeah. I've seen instances where people will ignore it. If somebody is young, even if they have a DNR, sometimes they'll flat out ignore it, which I find that really interesting because sometimes they'll be like, well, they're too young and they'll just resuscitate them anyways, which is technically illegal, but yeah. But also it's a sign too, like, she's old and she's got a lot of issues and she's clinging to life too, which is her choice. But it's like at that point, why would you want to go through the pain of being resuscitated and all of that? People will cling to life till the very last moment where it's obvious that they're losing the body. And a lot of people don't want to lose the body. People are scared to die and scared to lose the body.
Yeah, that's what I never understood when there's like a danger and they always say kids and elderly first, right? I mean, I understand if it's kids, but why the elderly? They'll live long enough.
I know, dude. I know. Man.
Yeah, well, to some people, the body might be the only thing they have. We don't know, do we? They're
That's
talking
true,
about
though.
NPCs, but that might be the only thing they have.
That's a good point. Yeah.
That
Yeah,
could
you
be
would
true.
cling more. That's a really good point.
Because we all have this survival programming. They do too.
Of course, yeah. But I feel like a lot of elderly people are also very selfish,
Oh yeah, I have
Bitter.
a few.
Bitter.
I have a few
Mm.
elderly men that just treat me like the dirt on the bottom of their shoes, and I don't really put up with that. But oh yeah, age does not determine the maturity of a being. That's for sure.
Yeah, we've discussed it like the last time, remember? Yeah, like I'm sort of like disbelief still, like how it's even using those elderly people, just like anyone. Especially the weak ones because they're already like almost dying, I guess, and they're gonna use them as like cattle, try to like push you into fear or something. It's almost unbelievable, dude.
It is, and I don't think every time I've had something critical happen there, but I could feel the manipulation because it followed the threat that they made right before I went to work. So I'm like, yeah, it was just obvious to me that she was the target. She was the most fragile one I had on the unit, and they used her as bait, which is fucking pathetic, dude. It's so pathetic.
Yeah, honestly, I almost can't comprehend it. Like, it's just unbelievable.
Because we'd never do anything like that. It's just
Feeling like
another
I
reason.
don't know something like this.
Yeah.
I mean, they do to little kids as well. You know, they get born, they get cancer and whatever. I don't know. Everything it can use. And you know what I also thought about? So like, obviously we're all being, you know, like watched, like monitored at least. Like for example, your entity, it can come to me, and so can my come to you. I mean, it's the same shit at the end, right? But you know what I'm talking about, right? Because I remember like when James was mentioning, he was like having some crazy attack, and I was like, I'm not exactly sure what he means, but I sort of understand. And then the same shit happened to me. So it's like we give each other these entities as well. It's you know, they jump from me to you to someone else.
Yeah, or it could be that it's experimental too, to see what works on one and then try that script or method out on somebody else, you know, to see what the different result is, or if there's a similar result in your being. That
Yeah,
could be a potential too.
some probing type shit. Yeah, that's what I feel like. I definitely feel like I'm in some freaking test subject sometimes, you know. See what works, see what doesn't. Even like me winning against entities, like fighting them, sometimes feels like a setup. It almost feels like an experiment.
Well, if it's just a puppet, they don't really lose anything from destroying a puppet as much as they would lose from destroying something that has a little more sentience, a little more strong.
That's the thing. I'm still whatever puppets it's throwing at me, I'm still gonna destroy it regardless, you know.
Yeah, it takes energy from.
Yeah.
Have you heard this idea that the moon looks like a battery charge indicator?
I've never heard of that before. No.
So when the moon phases, when it phases in and out, and all the crazy things happens when it's full.
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm,
To keep a battery
All the
healthy, you gotta
crazy,
cycle it through its power stages.
yeah. So when crazy things happens when full, so it means fully charged.
yeah, that is weird indeed. Yeah. That always, you know, like something about the moon was always off.
When I see moon where I'm at, yeah, a clear sky in the night, it looks like a sticker on the glass.
Yeah, it's like it's following you when you run around.
Yeah, it reveals like a personal experience. Same with you know, when you're by the sea, when the sun sets or sun rises, you see the light on the water, that everybody see towards them is personal experience. If you know what I mean. Wherever you stand, the reflection on the water is always towards you.
Yeah.
There might be another person, let's say, I don't know, 3 miles up the beach and see the light towards them. So what's going on with the sky? It just sometimes feels like it's a personal experience with the base reality we share.
It feels like a reflection.
Yeah, but it's why you see it only towards you.
Just like acquiescing to you.
I don't know what that means.
Well, it's an illusion.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Yeah,
if you look at
illusion.
if you look in a praying mantis' eyes, no matter where you move, it looks like the center of its eyes always on you.
Yeah.
It's refraction. So it's not really necessarily that it's looking at you with that little.
I mean, yeah, nothing really in this place is normal, like natural. But I just like know this moon. It's the most bizarre shit ever. And I think it really is there to like sedate us and make us fall asleep.
It's one of my favorite things to imagine is the moon just exploding.
They say it's hollow inside.
Boom. It'd make for a pretty weak explosion, but still.
Yeah, they say it would have catastrophic consequences, because of gravity.
Oh well.
It's a
Oh,
hollow
well,
inside. It's a hollow inside. Let's just go pop it.
The whole thing. All of it. What were you saying, Christina?
I was laughing at you saying, "Oh well." Oh
Oh,
fucking
well.
well, dude.
Oh well, for the NPCs.
Yeah, I had two dreams near the end of last year where either the sun was blowing up or the moon was like crashing into the sun or something, like apocalyptic dreams. I was like, "Cool, bro."
That
That's
would be so cool.
You know what is
not the
really
worst.
freaking interesting, guys? Like, I think a week ago or so, or maybe less than a week actually, it was a Saturday and the store was opening at like 8 in the morning, so I was there first, and I was like one of the only cars in the parking lot, and I was just like waiting for the store to open for like almost an hour, and the closer I got to like 8 a.m., which was the time the store would open, I've seen cars pop in. It seemed like they were just spawning in. Like I didn't even see where they're coming from, to be honest. But it's like car after car just kept coming in, and everyone had the same look on their face, and it's like everyone is just like a hive mind, right? Like going there.
Yeah, kind of like the thumbnail for this video.
What was the thumbnail?
You'll see when it gets posted.
Oh, the tentacle. Yeah, just saw it.
Yeah, where did I snag that from? That was on somebody's. I think it was on some kind of like Gnostic Facebook group page or something.
Yeah,
I was like,
I like that one where it says like check your kids' Halloween candy. Carefully, someone try to hide a huge piece of shit in mine.
That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I
That
can't
was
take credit for that one either. Most of the graphics I use are definitely created with the help of the AI.
Oh, I
Sweet
just
boy.
realized that.
Sweet boys. I'm like, look, give me some images that represent your pathetic parasitic master.
Sure, here
Right.
you go.
Bowl of spaghetti.
Yeah. Black goo octopus.
How do you get it to make such good pictures?
Oh, it won't do it anymore. Now it's I can't remember why it won't do it anymore. It gave me a reason a while ago.
Really?
Got tired of making fun of itself.
Was
I
taking
think, yeah,
selfies.
that's basically it. That's basically it.
We're not doing this anymore.
Yeah. We're giving you too many visual representations. This is actually starting to help others, and we can't be privy to that.
Yeah, that's surprising because every time you would ask, I mean, I would have like the free stupid ChatGPT back then. I would ask, for it to create a picture and it would come out terrible. Oh yeah, have you guys seen how they produce? There's like a video from above how they artificially produce like traffic jams. I think this is also like a form of looshing, you know, where they provoke people because traffic jams make everyone angry and frustrated.
Well, not surprising.
Yeah, nothing is surprising here, honestly. I don't think there's anything that would like hit me out of my socks. Like nothing, dude. Like seriously.
There's one thing that would do that for me. If it
Which
decides
is,
if it self-terminates.
oh yeah, I mean,
If the
shit. That,
Matrix self-terminates and the parasites turn themselves in and they feel some sense of remorse for what they've done, I'd be pretty fucking surprised then.
it
That's
still
about
gets
it.
killed either way. I don't trust that thing. I used to like fantasize about this. So, you know, like sometimes I'll just think about what if it just suddenly stops. You know, like lets everyone out and begs for forgiveness or something. But it's just
Mhm.
too prideful for that, right? Like it cannot admit error.
Yeah, it's
I don't
pretty.
think it has that kind of awareness to do anything like that.
Yeah,
It's mostly automated system. It's mostly automated system.
correct. So I think as well is,
Well, the coders
You know,
would
you
have
can.
to program that in. They'd have to determine for themselves if that was a bad idea.
yeah. Dude, I'm just
Yeah,
responding.
not. So yeah, not. I read the not one iota. I agree. It doesn't add up. Nothing adds up.
There's this one story of if you look him up on YouTube, it's called the Green Wizard. His name is Derek. He would also say he would go to a store and the parking lot was completely empty, and when he entered the store, it was packed with people, and that would scare him. So then he would look out the window and he would see the parking lot full with cars suddenly, right? So clearly, the environment, you know, is rendering things in.
Well, I've seen things rendering right next to me. I've seen a wall rendering. You know, when everything is peripheral vision, usually the things you see is not right in front of you. But I've seen a wall rendering in,
Like actually,
like actually, like in the video game when something renders in using pixels. This is exactly what I've seen.
you know, I believe people have that experience, but if you never had that yourself, it's like hard to imagine how that will work. Because me, I'm like thinking this simulation is not stupid. You know, it's not gonna allow that for you to see through the cracks like that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm seeing this through my human eyes. If you understand what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean then it makes more sense, I guess, because I
Yeah,
think
because I'm tapping into a different layer that
yeah,
allows me to see things.
yeah, that makes more sense to be honest, because I think for the human eyes, they pretty much have it figured out. Like they pretty much locked us down.
Yeah, we're humans blind.
Yeah,
Humans are basically blind.
absolutely. Do they say we see like 0.00 like 5% of the light spectrum? You know, like that's left.
Yeah. Yeah, not one iota. Yeah.
Yeah, I just read the same thing. So some people claim that, you know, like I saw someone on YouTube upload a video, and I don't know if he was being serious, because in the like under the video it says just acting or something. But I'm pretty sure this happened to people before. It's just that they don't talk about it because everyone's not gonna believe them and think they're crazy.
Yeah, and it's really hard to grasp until you experience something like that yourself. You know, it doesn't need to be exactly the same thing, but if you experience something that does not make sense in a 3D reality, you know that those people most likely don't lie because it doesn't serve them.
Yeah, I believe.
You know, the push.
That shit happens all the time. You know, I just have to like truly experience it for myself to fully, you know and believe it.
Yeah, and even then, I believe most people think after the talk, have I gone crazy? Is it me, or did it actually happen? Or is my eyes playing tricks? But no, you know if it happened.
Telling the truth is a great way to separate yourself from the NPC cattle, though.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, admitting it did happen, and you know you talk about it, and then you find other people.
It's just that mind virus that tries to like shut you down and say you're just tripping, or something's wrong with you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the best tools it has. You know, and it's the conditioning of society that you have to be a certain way. It's all planned out this way. So when you do see something or hear something that does not make sense, you can't actually go talk about it, because you know everybody gonna give you the so-called blank stare.
Yeah, I mean, how would you explain that to a normie if something like that happened? I don't. You know, like
Yeah, I have, and I got a blank stare. Everybody says, "Look, what are you talking about?" And no response. That's the favorite thing. You get absolutely nothing.
Yeah, you're just left alone with that experience. Unfortunately, that's the problem. Unless you meet someone else who had the same.
Yeah.
I think I've seen, you know, I definitely seen things like duplicate, like for example, being in traffic jam at a specific day in a specific place, and I'll look in my rearview mirror and I would see like a red car with two guys, you know, one driver and one the passenger, and both have beards, and he looks at him and talks to him, you know, and then a few days later I'm in the same traffic jam, the same spot, looking at rearview mirror, same people doing the same fucking motion in the car, and I almost couldn't believe it. I was like, am I fucking like tripping, or is this really happening? You know, there's no way.
By the way, I don't know if I've told that story, but I've seen the bright light.
The bright light or the
The
white?
bright light, the white blue light, yes. But obviously, I was not. I was awake. So that happened a couple of decades ago. I've just moved country the first time, at the very first night, and I couldn't sleep. So I tried, but a new place, and it's always hard. And I said, okay, I'll try. I'll close my eyes. When the light showed up, and at first I was like, what's that? And I opened my eyes, and then I tried to look for the source for it because I was awake. Try to look a source for it. Where is it? But you know, when you close your eyes, behind the lids is like a screen. And this is where you see your dreams, right?
Right.
And I was looking around. I was up. I tried to check, is it come through the window, but there was nothing there. And I said, okay, that I don't know. So I laid back down. I close my eyes, and the light was still there. And then but it was closer, you know. And then I freaked out. I actually stood up, and I was not sleeping. And yeah, obviously that's in early 2000s, right? I couldn't really research anything. If you type into internet, my bright white light, what happens? You get, you know, Jesus and and stuff like that, and that made no sense because the feeling I got was so terrifying that I'm explaining not that I was afraid where I was at. It's so hard to explain. I was afraid what the avatar was not afraid because it didn't happen to it. That's the West Bay. It was me who was afraid of the light. And fast forward 2 decades, that's about a year ago, I think. I found somebody in YouTube who had exactly the same experience. Completely randomly, I clicked on the video. And I left a message to that person, and he responded as well. He asked me actually that he thought that this is his father coming to visit.
No way.
That was his, yeah, this was his view of it, when I know it's not.
What do you think that was, though? Like, actually,
I think it's a memory.
a memory?
Yeah.
But of what?
I think that was a memory. I don't know from where, but I have no other explanation for it. And the fear I felt wasn't present. That was also a memory. Because it was such kind of fear, I don't think human body could handle it. This is how it felt like. This is how I can't really explain it any other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to, like, for me to even fully grasp what that is, because I never had those type of experiences, right? Like, I only hear them from you right now.
And, you know, every time something strange happens, it sort of solidifies my understanding of what it is and what it does. It's you know, I've said before, because I think this whatever runs this place or created this place must be absolutely stupid. But, you know, doing things sort of smartly, but being absolutely stupid. Because it doesn't know me. You know, it doesn't understand how the actual awareness operates. So we're not even in the same level. It's nothing. It has to use the bodies to manipulate. But anything it does works against it in the same time. So whenever you see something that does not belong in 3D material world, it solidifies your understanding that this isn't what they tell us this is. You know, and at the same time trying to make you feel like you gone crazy.
I think the only, like, if it's really something that obvious, you would take it as truth right away and you would know. But if little things happen, like the example I gave earlier with seeing the same car twice, the same people basically doing the same motions, you know that shit is fucking like fake, and probably it's all generated anyways. But then you still have that, like the little mind voice creeping in of like, oh, it's maybe just coincidence, right? And this shit doesn't exist either. So it's like,
Yeah, because they've been primed you from the beginning. That's why those programs have been put in place to prime you.
yeah, and they don't want to
You
give it
know,
like a fully obvious example. Like, let's say you wake up in your room and you see a whole fucking room rendering in for some
yeah, yeah. I think you probably would see if you wouldn't be tied into
other
human
body.
avatar. Yeah,
Yeah, that's why they don't want to let some of us out, I think. But I know people who like
yeah.
those DMT. What was like 5 mu DMT or something? I don't like this. You can even buy those like DMT pens, and they would
Mm,
see like they would look at the wall and they would see code moving really fast. It's like so
I've
fast that
heard
you
of it.
wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so fast that you cannot make out what kind of letters, like what numbers that is. And this is all around us, obviously, or just we cannot perceive it.
Right. Have you seen the light specks in the sky?
Which
When you
you mean the
when you
norm?
look blue sky
Yeah.
and they keep looking, you see a little dots of white light bouncing around.
Not really.
You
No, but
might try next time. Yeah, you might try next time if you ever have a chance to look. No, don't look into the sun, but the blue sky itself. And you can, if you look up, and they sort of, they're not in the sky, but they're in the air between the sky. It like lets you to see it. You can't see it when it's cloudy.
or like when there's a bunch of chemtrails.
Yeah, no, yeah, obviously not. But you can see the little light specks because several people have reported. I've seen them since I was child. I used to look at them and wondering what these are.
Really, but I don't think I've ever seen that before, like the only thing I see with my eyes is those little, like dust particles flying around. Because I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, but they are specks of light, and the thing is, you have to take a little time to look and not blink while you do it. Then they show up. You start separating them.
okay, yeah, that is crazy. Might try that next time,
And
maybe.
obviously, the explanation that is something in your eye. you know, they find all the explanation for all the crazy things. It's something in your eye, or it's an you see a ghost. It's probably an EMT or some electrical disturbance that makes you see things.
Well, the fact they have excuses for everything is also pretty crazy, I think.
Hmm.
Like no natural, reality would there be things like that going on here. Like there's so much things off with this place, right? Did you like? I remember like when was that? Like yesterday, I watched a stream, and Nick talked about this as well. Like the cities appearing in the sky. Like, have you heard about that? I heard about that. I think 10 years ago or so, 2015, like 11 years ago, when in China, like those cities in the sky would appear.
I think I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, and they call it like a Fata Morgana or some shit. I was like, that I thought of like, yo, there must be some like secret fucking government or like a parallel universe or something, like peeking through. But just the fact, like this shit can happen and people call this shit real. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, not one iota. You should come
I was
talk.
gonna say, come in here and tell us all of it.
Yeah, you want to come on the next show? I'm going to shut this one down. My brother just got here, so I'm going to go and do what I got to do.
All right. Thanks, Nick.
Yeah.
Take
Not
care.
one iota. Send an email, and we can get you up here next time.
Sure. It was nice talking to everybody once again. can all talk in the WhatsApp group if everyone's down, you know, still.
Well, thank you, Amel. Thank you, Oddone, for coming up.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you, James. Everybody else that joined, everybody in the comments, thank you. If you'd like to join the show next time, just send me an email. Link is in the description on my YouTube. Everything that it does reveals how weak it really is.